Hello, I'm just doing a quick update. This is my cookie. This is my cookie. This is my cat Cookie. She's, I don't know, maybe 9 years old now. But she's my little baby. Anyway, I'm just kind of relaxing for a second. Today I had an off day. Yeah, I didn't get a short notice phone call. Bye, Cookie. Alright, well, let's stop being lazy. Anyway, so I got I'll just hold it. I don't really know how to hold this. I need to get like a better camera if I'm gonna start doing these all the time. But anyway, yeah, I know. I guess as far as the diabetes update goes, my my blood sugar yesterday actually was like 202 after I ate. And then when I took my insulin and then I went and hit the gym, after the gym it actually dropped down to 62, which is low because normal is 70 to 100. So 62, I decided, because I was about to go to work pretty much straight after the gym, I had to spike my blood sugar back up because it was low, and I didn't want it to dip any lower. I had just worked out 40 minutes of cardio, and I had the normal amount of insulin on board. So what I did was I ate some graham crackers and peanut butter, just kind of like we do with patients at work, and that spiked it up. I think when I got to the hospital and I clocked in, I checked my blood sugar again. It was like 85 or something like that, just to be sure. Okay, I skipped one. So it was 62. I spiked it up a little bit with some graham crackers and peanut butter. I checked it again before I left about 15 minutes later, and it was about 70. So I took some more graham crackers and some more peanut butter, and then I went to the hospital. Once I clocked in, I checked it, and it was about 85 at that point. I got a little bit of advice from some of my coworkers, and they suggested I spike it a little bit more just to be sure. So I took some more graham crackers. It's kind of like that was my MO, was just using graham crackers basically, and that got it up to just, I think it was 98, just under 100. So this is the first instance that I've had that has had low blood sugar numbers. And I mean, it was pretty easily fixed, but that's something you gotta watch out for, because if it's low and you aren't checking your blood sugar and you let it drop even lower, that can actually be very serious and it could actually kill you. So you gotta you have to be on the ball. A high blood sugar, like my doctor said, will kill you long term. A short blood sugar can kill you short term, so it's more immediate, more urgent to fix a low blood sugar than it is to fix a high one. Anyway, so after that, my blood sugars kind of remained on the lower end of normal throughout the rest of the night. When I ate my meals, it never spiked very high. So my blood sugars have been staying in the low to mid 100s actually over the last 24 hours, which is ideal, and that's kind of what you want, but it just makes me a little nervous, and I just check it more frequently than I probably need to make sure that the number doesn't drop too low. So right now I just checked it, and I forget what number it was. It was like 130s or something, 140 maybe. And I had some food probably, I want to say 4 or 5 hours ago. So it's about time for me to eat again. I'm not going to eat a full meal, I don't think, though, because I don't want to wait. If I eat a full meal, and then I'm still planning on hitting the gym tonight, so if I eat a full meal, I'll have to let my stomach rest for a little bit before hitting the gym, and that'll be like another hour wait. I don't really want to do that, so what I think I'm going to do is I'm just going to preemptively eat some yogurt with strawberries to spike my blood sugar a little bit so it doesn't dip too low while I'm in the gym. And then I'm going to go to the gym, hit the gym, And then after that, I'm gonna eat my meal and take my lunch blood sugar, or lunch insulin. For my lunch meal, which, you know, it's 10:30 at night, so people are like, lunch? Don't you mean dinner? No, I woke up at like 5 p.m. today, so this is the second meal of my day, or it will be the second meal of my day, so it will be my lunch. And for my lunch meal, I'm only supposed to take the short acting, not the long acting, and I don't actually take any pills, so it's a pretty easy one. So I think that's what I'll do. And then if I have to, I'll spike my blood sugar somehow after the gym. I usually check it right before and right after the gym. I check my blood sugar just to be sure that it doesn't dip too low after the workout. And if at all I start feeling any kind of symptoms during the workout, I'll stop and check it right away, just to be sure. Because you don't really want to mess with a low blood sugar. That can be very serious. Besides that, I enjoyed my off day a little bit today. I woke up at about 5 p.m., me and my mom and my little brother. I didn't quite feel... I meal prepped the chicken, rice, and broccoli, and I've been eating Denver omelets, or like veggie scrambles, basically, every morning when I woke up. Today is the first day I've woke up, and I feel like I want something different, because I hate eating the same thing over and over, and it just gets like a little bit repetitive, and I like to experience new foods. That's kind of one of the things that led me to my eating habits being kind of bad, is I like to go try new places, and I tend not to portion myself too well, and my choices are not optimal. But today I woke up and I was like, I want something else, and I really honestly wanted sushi. But sushi, I don't really like sashimi very well, which is basically the diabetic standard. If you're gonna go for sushi, you're gonna go for sashimi because it doesn't have the rice. But I tend to like the sushi rolls better, and I was really craving that, but I couldn't bring myself to go get a sushi roll with all that white rice on it, because I didn't really want to spike it. I might on special occasions in the future, but for now, a random craving's not going to bring me to that point, and I guess that's a good thing that I'm being disciplined enough not to do that, but I do love sushi. And so what I ended up doing is we went to Chipotle, and instead of getting a burrito like I normally would, I cut the burrito shell out, the tortilla, and I just had one of their bowls, which is a lot less carbs. The tortilla for the burritos is 50 grams of carbohydrates, and that's like almost all of the carbs that I'm supposed to have for a meal, because I'm supposed to shoot for 60 to 75, and 50 grams is almost all of it. So what I ended up doing is I just went with black beans and brown rice with the rest of the like proteins and vegetables mixed in on a bowl. So that, with the black beans and brown rice, came to about 58 grams of carbs for those. So if I had taken it in a burrito, the only difference being the tortilla that the burrito is wrapped up in, because the contents is the same as the bowl, it would have been 108 grams of carbs. So that's definitely over budget. So yeah, you just have to like look at stuff like that and cut out what you can. So with the bowl, I basically was eating the same thing, it just wasn't wrapped up in a tortilla shell, which honestly does taste a little bit better, but it wasn't that bad. So yeah, I mean, just better options there. And it wasn't too like unfriendly towards my diet either. And with the brown rice and the black beans, they were pretty decent options as far as carbs go. There's better ones out there, but that's definitely not bad. And with the amount of insulin that they gave me, I honestly need to shoot for closer to 60 grams of carbs, because if I found out like last night I was really low, and when I meal prepped those, all I used, the only carbs in those meal prepped meals were like 2/3 of a cup of brown rice, which I think when I looked it up, is maybe 20 or 30 carbs, 20 or 30 grams of carbs, 40 tops, and that's not nearly enough to spike my blood sugar the appropriate height. So without spiking it that high, I actually ended up with low blood sugars because the insulin that they prescribed me is based on a 60 grams of carbohydrates diet per meal. So it's just kind of something like, I was talking to a nurse last night, and you just have to adjust it. And I feel weird about self-adjusting because I don't have, they actually prescribe you a scale where you can look at the amount of carbs that you have, and it influences the amount of insulin that you take. But right now, because they didn't want to get into that complicated of a insulin administration. I don't know what I'm trying to say, but they didn't want to get into that complicated of a mess, so they made it simple, and they just gave me a flat base rate, which means that that flat base rate is based on a 60 grams of carb diet that I basically have to do. Even if I don't really want the 60 grams, that's the appropriate amount to make my blood sugars come out the way that they want them to. So I'll have to talk to my doctor a little bit more about that, and maybe look into getting into the more complicated structure for how to administer my insulin, because if I can base it on the amount of carbs that I'm having, then that means that effectively I could diet and have a lower carb intake if I want to limit my my calories, and not have my insulin go overboard and shoot me down below where we want with my blood sugar levels. But that's just kind of like what's been on top of my mind. Today, like I said, I enjoyed it. After the meal, we came home for a little bit, relaxed, I paid rent, and then talked to my landlord a little bit, who apparently he's having a little bit of I guess his doctor's encouraging him to lose weight because he might be pre-diabetic as well. And he actually talked to me about the nutrition, and like, he didn't have the best grasp on macronutrients and what makes something a carb and stuff like that. So I kind of walked him through it. And I have a pretty good grasp on it, both because of my work and because of my interest in diets and nutrition in general. So I was able to bring some things to light with him that he was unfamiliar with. And then I also brought up the intermittent fasting diet with him, because for me, something like a keto diet wouldn't work, because I just like my starches too much. I like potatoes, I like bread, and to completely cut them out of my diet because you want 10% of your diet to be carbs and no more than that is very difficult, and it would be almost impossible for me, I believe. But so I talked to him about the IF diet, and I kind of walked him through it, because he was having trouble approaching diets as well, and he doesn't like limiting. So I told him, you still have to kind of watch what you eat for the most part, try and make better choices. But with the IF diet, it was more about managing when he ate and not spiking his blood sugar during the fasting period. So I don't know how many of you guys know about intermittent fasting, but it's something that I've done a lot of research on, and I actually really do like. And I've talked to my nutritionist and my diabetic educator, and they have said that the IF diet is actually a pretty solid one to do with diabetes management. So I'm thinking about trying to work that in once I get all my insulin and blood sugar levels like completely understood, and I get like a regular habit going. Then just adjusting when I eat will be the primary thing with that. Anyway, so I had a big long conversation with him about that, and then me and my mom and my little brother went and saw a movie tonight. The movie was Ma, and I didn't tell my mom that it was supposed to be kind of like a creepy horror thriller type movie. She gets scared easily, and anything having to do with like killing or suspense like that is something that she freaks out about pretty easily. So what I did is I basically told her it was about a family and a lady that goes by Ma, which, I mean, you can kind of say that's true, but I definitely fibbed to get her into the theater. And, I mean, truth be told, it wasn't that bad of a movie. And honestly, it was kind of creepy in the way that that movie could honestly actually happen. Like, I could see it actually happening with mental illness being so prominent in this country, as well as, like, just the right set of things happening to the wrong person. I could definitely see that actually going down, especially in a small town where, like, things are a little bit, I don't know, less policed or easier to get away with things. But, in general, I thought the movie was okay. It was worth a watch. It's not something I'm going to go see anytime soon again, but it was probably a good, solid, average 5 out of 10 movie. 6, maybe, if you don't mind a slow start. It had a very slow start and build up where it was kind of giving you backstory and just like getting to know the characters a little bit, which can be important, but I thought it was a little slower than necessary. And yeah, that's why I would give that movie a 5 out of 10. But anyway, and then now I'm here. I'm, like I said, gonna go get some yogurt and strawberries in me, and then I'm gonna go hit the gym, and then probably eat and stuff afterwards. And that's just the update. I got this one day off, and then I got 3 more shifts starting tomorrow night. So I'm just kind of getting back in the groove of things. But that's basically the update, and I hope that you are entertained with these, or at least you find them interesting enough to watch. If not, you probably aren't hearing this right now because you already like closed the window. But if you are interested in seeing more of these and whatnot, go ahead and like, comment, and subscribe down below. I don't know, on the low key, I kind of want this channel to grow more, and I'm just throwing whatever content I can into it. I got gaming stuff and like movie reviews and just random stuff. Anything I can think of, I throw into my YouTube. And lately, these vlogs having to do with my diabetic journey seem to be taking over. And at least it gives me something to regularly upload and comment on. But anyway, I hope you guys have a good night, and thanks for tuning in. Thanks, bye.